Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times. Dexter has been an amazing show that has done so many amazing things, and I've loved pretty much all of it. Sure, there's been a couple of lumberjack related hiccups along the way, but it's been such a good show. But the one thing this show has always struggled with is giving Dexter a consequence, a comeuppance, having a reckoning with being the serial killer that he is. And it has an issue with setting up consequence and then copping out. It's setting up Dexter killing people, and then someone else does it. And it always kind of feels like a little bit of a cop-out. And once again, with Angel, they copped out. Angel and Dexter are building up to have a confrontation, and Dexter was put in a situation where he might have to kill Angel, and then somebody else did. Tyrion did. And I just find that so deflating and so underwhelming, and it's just so frustrating that for a show that is the 3rd attempt to fix the end of the show, they've made the same mistake they always make, which is just copping out when it comes to Dexter killing an innocent person that he loves and that we as the audience also love. And it's just crazy to me that they've made this same mistake again and again and again, and now 10, 15 years later from the first original show, they've made it again. Not only is it a cop-out once again, but it also feels like it's robbed us of some really juicy and exciting stuff for Dexter moving forward. If Dexter had been forced to kill Angel, maybe not in this exact situation, but at some point it was him that had to kill him, then we could have got some really interesting stuff with him and his Harry ghost and his whole mental state, and just having to kind of reconcile with the fact that he has chosen to, you know, his own safety, his own security, his own life. He has chosen his life over the life of an innocent so he can survive and keep doing what he's doing. And he has to kind of come to terms with why he did it. He's got to kill other serial killers. Like, he's going to save more lives in the end, and he can try and justify it to himself. And all of these really interesting stuff. I just think it would have been so good. Like, I want to see those conversations he has with himself via Harry's ghost. I just think all of that stuff would have been so rich and interesting, and it would have been so powerful and new. It would have been cool new stuff. And I just think the show, by killing Angel, has robbed us of that, because you're not going to get that with any other character. And maybe the situation presented by Tyrion in this moment isn't how he would kill Angel, and the idea of him and Angel teaming up to fight Tyrion in this moment makes sense. But then they should have killed Tyrion. It could have really worked to have one of those classic, like, we're both enemies, but this guy's a bigger enemy. We've got to team up for a bit. We've got to punch for a bit and we're mates, but now we're enemies again. Like, that works. That's been done in so many shows before. That could have been really cool. And then to have another moment where he decides, I've got to take out Angel. Too much has happened. Angel's going to turn me in, and make that choice. I don't want to be turned in. I'm not getting a lethal injection. I'm not going to prison. I've got Harrison. I've got a life. I've got more serial killers to take out. All this stuff. Or he could have chosen to be arrested, which I don't think was ever really on the cards. I don't think that was going to happen. And so I think Angel dying is what the show is always building to. But I think you've got to make it Dexter, because there's so much storytelling, exciting, juicy stuff that comes from that. And it's not just that I want Dexter to kill people because he's a killer and all that stuff. It's like, no, that's just like the next logical stepping stone for the show to take it into new territory, exciting, unknown territory. I just think I just don't understand why they're not excited to make that and write that and create that and give us that. Like, isn't that the most juicy storytelling kind of ideas? To push Dexter into some new, unknown, horrifying territory, and just, like, what does that look like? What does Dexter look like once his code has been truly broken? And there's been mistakes here and there throughout the show where innocent people have died via his hand, but not a best friend. Not someone that he would, in his own Dexter way, loved. And more importantly, or at least as importantly, the audience loves. Someone we love and cherish as a character for the entire series. There's not another character like that. Masuka does not count. I'm sorry. I don't care how much you like Masuka. Him doing this to Masuka couldn't unravel Dexter in this way. Change the course of how Dexter's next, story stage of his life is going to be. Like, it's so baffling to me that they don't want to take the plunge because it's so exciting. It's like the prospect of it, and it's exciting because it's so haunting and scary, and like it's like I get goosebumps thinking about what the show could be if they pushed Dexter into this horrible, awful moment and made him do this. I want to see that next episode. Whereas now it's like, it's a finale of Dexter, and Dexter's got to fight Tyrion, a bad guy who killed Angel. And now, like, Dexter's kind of going to be the good guy. And I get that's just what they want to do with the show. But we're at season 10, man. Season 10. Let's do something fresh and new. Let's push this character somewhere different. Now, just to be clear, I don't want Angel to die because I think he deserves to die. I love Angel. Everyone loves Angel. That's why I think Dexter being forced into a situation where he has to kill Angel is the best thing for the show on a storytelling level. It would just be so heartbreaking and devastating and awful and frustrating and just painful to watch our hero, Dexter, the serial killer, kill his ex-best friend, Angel. That would just be so devastating and heartbreaking and just awful. And I'm saying the same words over and over, but I just think that would have been so much more exciting. And I think it could have still happened if they had done almost what they had done. Dexter's got him on the table. Tyrion's like, kill him and we can be best friends. He's fanboying out. Tyrion's having a lovely time. He loves that he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. And I love all of that. That's what I was wanting from Tyrion finding out that Dexter had done all these things. I liked the idea that he didn't care about those other guys. He's like, no, I've met the GOAT now. This is awesome. And he's having so much fun with it all. So good. It was so good. Like, the whole scene itself is spectacular. The acting's incredible. The tension is exciting and horrifying. And, you're holding your breath the whole time. Like, it's peak TV. And even the moment where he cuts the thing and you're like, they're going to team up. They're going to team up. And then Angel's like, fuck you, Dexter. No way. All of that's good stuff. I just think that now you've killed Angel. You've destroyed all of the momentum of the season. You've destroyed the main heart and soul of it. But you've done it in a way where you haven't made Dexter do it. And so I don't think Angel should have been killed by somebody else for another cop-out. That's the issue. Like, it's so crazy because I'm like, I understand why some people might not want Angel to die at all. Because, we love Angel. But that's what's building up. Angel is now the antagonist to Dexter. So Dexter either has to kill him and sacrifice his code to survive and push himself where he's never really pushed himself before, or be turned in. And then we could have either maybe gotten like a manhunt season or a prison season or both. And so it's just, I almost can't even think. I'm just so just so frustrated by it. I really just don't think this is how it should have gone down. And I've been preaching Angel death all season, but this isn't how you kill him. This is not at all how you do it. I just think this was absolutely the wrong way to do it. And it's so frustrating because the build-up of that scene is so exceptional. But then to do a cop-out with Tyrion killing him, it just doesn't work. And it's like, now it's like, I don't even really care about what happens next at this point. Because it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, all of the other characters that are now antagonists to Dexter are just a bit like, like, I love Tyrion's acting in this is so good. As I've said in other videos, his acting is so good in this, it almost tricks me into wanting to rewatch Game of Thrones. It's that good. He's so good in this. So it will be a fun showdown next week. But I just think that this was the showdown. This was the moment where he should have probably killed Tyrion. And because obviously he was never going to work with Tyrion, even though I love the idea of Tyrion bringing in like more serial killers and Dexter, just taking them out. Like, that's such a great concept and idea. I can see why Tyrion thought that might work. And I just love that idea. But of course, Dexter's not going to go for that. Dexter's not going to team up with this guy. Dexter came there to kill this guy. He's not going to team up with him. So to kill him, maybe Angel escapes, and then they can have another showdown next week, and you kind of, I don't know, do whatever next week. But yeah, I don't know. It's so crazy to get the thing you were wanting, but in the way where you're like, actually now not like that. It's just like very, very frustrating and disappointing. And I'm just like, yeah, left unsure of how interested I am in more Dexter now, because it's just like, they are so unwilling to do the thing that I think the show needs to do. And of course, that's just a personal taste. I just think this is the thing the show has always lacked. It's really just the one thing the show has lacked in all its 10 seasons. And I kind of thought this 10th season was going to be the one to do it. And so for it to not do it, it's like, yeah, well, now I know they'll never do it. And they don't really have a character to do it too that will be satisfying. Like Masuka, like if he has to kill Masuka, I'm like, okay, I guess the comic relief, sure. Angel was the heart and soul. Joey Quinn, who cares? This was the one character that it would be satisfying in the horrifying, tragic, incredibly tragic, heartbreaking way. And now you've ruined that. And the only silver lining is that resurrection is actually not impossible for Angel. Angel could be resurrected because, well, Dexter was, so maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's going to come back in season 2 and be like, guess what, Dexter? Now I'm also resurrected. I was just in a coma, and I was visited by all the OG characters that are dead. LaGuardia was there, and we get a LaGuardia cameo at the start of season 2. I wouldn't put it past them, but I also feel like, I don't know. I just wouldn't trust them. If they brought Angel back, which they probably won't. I mean, they definitely won't. I just wouldn't trust them to do it right a 7th time or whatever. I don't know. Just so like, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? It's crazy. It's so crazy. Because this show felt like such a like, I don't know, like, we're doing it a 3rd time. We're the only show in the whole world that's ever had a 3rd time to fix the mistakes. And there's such a long period, just like New Blood. It's just baffling to make so many similar mistakes again and again and again and again. And it's just like, come on, man. How much goodwill do you have to keep just like setting everything up and being like, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. We heard you guys. Season 8, we understand. You didn't like the lumberjack thing. You didn't like this, that. Boom, here we go. Let's do it again. And they botched it. They botched the end again. And so, after a bunch of years, they thought about all these ideas and they built it up and they're like, okay, instead of Angel just like on his way there and doing nothing, he's going to be there the whole time, hunting Dexter, following Dexter. He's going to know he's the Bay Harbor Butcher. And we're going to have a confrontation. And then Tyrion from Game of Thrones is just going to shoot him. I just can't believe that's what they thought would be a good way to fix this. After so many years, to end it like this with Angel is... I'm overwhelmed by how bad I think it is. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's it. I didn't like the end. I thought it was, a lame cop-out, and I'm sad for Dexter. I thought for a moment, there's that moment where the door's closing and Tyrion's like, oh, goodbye, and they're locked in the room, like, oh, cool, so he shot Angel on all these parts, and it's a TV show, so even though he shot him like 6 times, he'll not be fine, but he'll, be alive and they can have a confrontation. They'll be locked in the room. The finale will be them talking for the whole episode or something like that. And we could get some really juicy stuff the way that Doak's in the cage in season 2 with Dexter had. But no, they killed him. He dies. And Dexter's all like, whoa, my best friend died. And I'm like, no, you should be like, whoa. Wow, I really got off scot-free there. That's, wow. It's almost like the writers are incapable of doing anything interesting. I'm very curious what people are going to like vibe off this. Are people going to be like, well, he loved Angel, and even till the very end, when he would have been easier to kill Angel, he made the choice to save Angel, and it's tragic that Angel died. Sure, I suppose it's everyone's opinion's obviously valid, and I imagine some people are going to totally vibe with that and think it's kind of sweet and nice that the 2 best friend bowling buddies from OG Dexter, he wasn't forced to do it, and that would have been sad and depressing. But, like, it's a show about a serial killer. And even though it is very, very funny all the time, and it's got a dark humor about it, it is a very intense show, and it just didn't put him in that situation. As I said at the start of the video, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, fuck me. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like to see a man who's very excited for a show get very sad, sometimes that happens on this channel. Mostly, it's pretty positive, because things are mostly pretty good sometimes. Like, subscribe, notification bells, all the YouTubey things. Most importantly, comment below. I would genuinely, probably more so than most episodes or movies or anything, love to know what do people think about this episode. Mostly, what do people think about the Angel thing? Are you satisfied? Are you not satisfied? Because to me, this just is maybe the most unsatisfying thing they possibly could have done, particularly by setting it up so excitedly. To have Angel on Dexter's table was something that I was dreaming of, this absolute horror nightmare situation, but not even to have Dexter be the one to like capture him and lock him up, but to have Tyrion push Dexter into the situation. Tyrion felt like me, the audience, like grabbing Dexter, and he pushes him into the room and he's like, this is what we've been building up to all season. I don't care if you don't like this. You're not meant to like this. You're a bad guy. Do your bad thing on him or you're screwed. And to force the confrontation, force the situation, force Dexter's hand. And then Dexter's just a really cool guy. He's just a really nice guy. He actually loved Angel so very much. Great.